Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Tuesday, November 4th. It is election day. I hope everybody got to the polls and voted today, especially if you're in New Jersey, but obviously anywhere in the country. I hope you got out and voted or did the early voting. And here we go. What a crazy market it was. It was pretty down. We were short in the IWM and everything else, the Qs and all that good stuff. So it worked out perfectly fine. And we'll see what our plan's going to be for tomorrow. So here you go, everybody. And let me put that on there. It was on there a minute ago, but I guess it came off the old, what the heck? Here we go. There you go. That's what this heat map looked like. And there you are, everybody. So here let's rock and roll, get through our evening. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How are you, Janica and everybody else? Luis Rodriguez there, Laptop Travel and Doge Mama 9 and the whole entire crew, Asian Jolie and everybody else. How is everybody this evening? And what another great day we had. And we've been just dissecting the market pretty well. Sam, I know you've been doing good with that. Thank God for puts, you said. I would say so. And heck yeah, QQQ, IWM puts plus UVXY. If you guys are in the Discord and listen to the live trading, we've been absolutely destroying the market, guys. Just calling out exactly what it's going to do. Now, Ben and I, we don't trade it perfectly. I'm not going to lie, but everybody else seems to do great. So that's what the point of it is anyway. And us too, we'll do much better. We've been talking about it. So, we'll execute what we actually say much better. And you guys know I've been trying to get a little better organized with my lists and stuff. It's like it's information overload. I can sit here and tell you guys exactly what's going to happen, jot it down, and it's like my brain stops working. I don't even know what goes on. But anyway, we have been destroying it as Morning Note's been on point. Everything's been on point in that Discord. So if you're not involved in it and you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. And here we go, guys. Let's get through our list, see what's going on this evening and what we're looking at for tomorrow. And I took Neon, and then I took whatever else was on there first. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, the KVUE, and they're getting bought out. So we're not worried about that anymore. So I put ONDS up there, and this thing actually looks like it's about to start getting set up. We'll see exactly tomorrow, but it'll be a fun one to watch. And it's a good, smaller cap to keep an eye on, ONDS. So it'll give us an idea about the IWM and all that good stuff. So we've been shorting that bad boy down. It was underneath the 50. I mean, we were absolutely saying it was going to get down there to 242. It's at 240 right now, and looks like it's going to go a little lower. Your Q's down there, they're dipping down. They look like they're coming down to that trend line right there. And your SPY was dipping down as well. So definitely some pullback. Hertz, will that continue, Janica? Good evening, Robin. And let's look at Hertz right away, because that one was cruising. Luis Rodriguez was all over this thing, following it along for a while here, and it did blast off there. And let's take a better look and see what it did in the after hours here. And let's just take a look real quick. We'll look at the minutes right there. It held itself up pretty well. And let's take a look at this chart here. And it looks like it is going to hold itself up tomorrow, Janica. Janica, I think that's who said that, asked that. But yeah, Hertz is looking pretty good, I must say. So we will be keeping an eye on that. And BULZ, what is that one right there? That's that FANG. And let me take that and put it over there. And wow, that thing is going to be going down. Maybe we do want to write that one down for a momentum play tomorrow. So BULZ dipping down hard. And obviously you'd want to leverage this one down. And clearly look at it, $35 it went down today. So that one playing down right there. And a lot of them will be. So that is what we're looking at. And Zach's always here, of course. And I put Rocket on the list for you there, Zach, as a matter of fact. So let's go through our list, see what's going on. ONDS, we were just looking at it. And then we looked at the indices. And let's look at some of the open door pulling back. It was trying to get set up right there. Not many things stood a chance today. So you're going to see a pretty good, a lot of good pullback right here. Open door does have earnings coming up on Thursday. So we'll be interested to see what that wants to do going into its earnings tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on open door right there. And QMCO, these were pulling back as well. They were trying to get set up. But again, let that 20 come down and let these things just completely bottom out, and then they'll get ready to rock and roll again. But we'll take a quick look and see what all of them want to do. This RGTI, the computer hardware and quantum ones. And there you go, RGTI, right under that trend line. Look at that, had some good support, and they're coming down to the 50s. And they're breaking through everything right now. QBT coming down. Look at that trend line, and it's coming down to it right there. So you better believe everything is coming down right now, and it should be probably red in the morning. Now we might get a bounce after that dip off, but we are going to see a dip. Look at your quantum right here, your defiance, and that's been running up here in the top. And remember, I used to say it can only run up there for so long. Well, there you go, guys. That's why I used to say that. And here comes your pullbacks, and they are going to be pretty good. And then we'll ride them back up there. IONQ. This one, I don't know what I just hit. IONQ. What is going on? Hold on. What am I hitting there? Probably the wrong thing, I'm sure. But IONQ is going down. We were looking at IONZ last night, remember? That was up 17% right there. So that was a good one. We looked at all of them. Remember, we were looking at JDust right here, JDST. That was up almost 10% today. And DUST, we were looking at that, and it was up over 8%. So we were looking at all of these yesterday, talking about them, saying they were looking pretty good. They wanted to run, and we were right on point with everything, I must say, especially in the Discord on this show. So yeah, we call out what the market really wants to do, and we will get through everything. So let's just cruise right through our list real quick. Not a whole lot there going on, just kind of the usual ones, but we'll probably blast right through because a lot of things were pulling back. So here we go. UNH right there, definitely having some pullback down to the bottom right there, and it will be trying. Well, I won't say it's getting set up yet, UNH, so we'll definitely look at it. And even Oscar right there was pulling back, looking at that. So we'll see if they're bottomed out. I don't think so yet, but again, I'll look at them tomorrow. ABTC right here, that one's still pulling back, and now it also has some really good support down here. So you figure at 409, it should try to come back to that area right there. And here is Pew right here, and that is looking pretty stinky and dipping down at the moment. So let that one, and that's why, again, I was saying, and I've been saying, let these things run to the last second. And when they're absolutely ready to take off, that's when we get into them. You know they're going to run, but you don't want to be getting caught in all this nonsense. I mean, the entire market's pulling back, but especially these ones are crazy, the Trump family ones. And there's that PSQH ripping down there. And I mean, ripping down, dipping down. And their earnings are coming up on Thursday. So that one could come right down to that 170 area. And that is PSQH right there. So let's keep on cruising right through and look at our crypto treasury ones. And they're getting destroyed right now as well. There's BMNR and good old SBET right here. That's down $1.41 as well. And UPXI, that one's also dipping down and not looking exactly great, down 8% right there. So yeah, these things are dipping down, not looking beautiful, that's for sure. And crypto is dipping down. We'll be looking at that. And let's look at that ORBS. It's been trying to set up for so damn long here. And I don't know, maybe it is at the bottom finally. I mean, this thing's been down there forever. Or maybe it tries to base down and then comes leveling down again. We'll look at it tomorrow and see if it actually starts to try to curl up. And Robin saying, are all those crypto treasuries a good to buy now? I would say they might be getting down here. And again, Bitcoin, we'll look at it real quick, is pulling back, and it was under 100,000. We'll look at it right now and see what it's doing. And FGNX is another one. This is an Ethereum one. And as a matter of fact, guys, I'll be interviewing the CEO on Thursday morning. So I'll be talking to them and seeing what's going on with the company. And we'll see if this thing's going to get rocking and rolling. So I'll keep you guys posted on that as well in the next day or so. And like I said, we'll look at crypto. Let's go and cruise over there and look at Bitcoin at 100,000 and Ethereum. It's easier to look at this, to be completely honest with you. 32.11 exactly. 152 for Solana, Ripple at $2.16, and Cardano at 51 cents right there. And that's according to our stock cube. So that is what the prices look like. And yeah, Bitcoin 100,114. It's jumping around, obviously. And let's take a look at them. that chart kind of hurts my head when it's all that red right there. And look at that big dip. I mean, that dipped down lower than that Friday dip that day. So holy cow, that is not a good look for crypto. But coming down to the bottom, we'll have to see how it rebounds. And didn't we say this the other day or last night that they didn't look really that good? We should have shorted these things down. I mean, holy cow, look at them. Down 11% for Ethereum. Solana was down big time, 7%. It was down big last night as well. BNB, this one was even dipping down right there, hitting that bottom. Doge down here. So all of them coming down. They look like they want to go right into the basement as well. And there's your Cardano right there getting into the basement, as a matter of fact. Stellar, that one's in the basement. I saw that already. And here is Chainlink trying to get back down there. And Optimism, that one went right back into the basement. So yeah, that's not saying it's looking too good for the crypto scene right now. That's for sure. So we'll be keeping an eye on that and what Bitcoin wants to do, because that usually dictates what everything else generally wants to do. And it looks like it's getting down there. So we'll be watching crypto right there, and obviously keep an eye on that. And then we'll be watching the crypto miners. These guys are not the miners, the crypto treasury ones, because I mean, look at that setup right there. BMNR is hurting right now because it wanted to get rolling, and then crypto took that huge dip. So we'll be watching them for sure, Mr. Robin and everybody else. And Lewis was on that Hertz way early on, and you bought it and sold it and wish you would have bought it for long term. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's crazy like that. You see things way early. Luis Rodriguez does have a good eye for them long term, especially like option calls like that. And that's why he posts inside of our Discord on my page, because I'm telling you, he was posting all about Hertz way early. And it blasted off today, and it was a beautiful call, Lewis. So there you go. Look at that thing cruising along. He was talking about it, saying it was going to get cruising, and it certainly did, over 36% there today. So that is HTZ, and I think he's still bullish on it, is what he think. I think he might have said that. I'm not even sure. But anyway, I'll read through the notes. And he does. He said, I'm still very bullish on Hertz, is what he said. So there you go right there. And I would say that was a beautiful call. So let's cruise through and see what else is going on with some of these penny stocks, because they were running up. This one started to run up in the after hours, LBGJ. I don't know why we weren't just playing all these things. We knew they were going to run right here. And look at that thing. That thing's running up right there. So that is your LBGJ running up at the moment. And YDKG right here. This one's trying to get set up as well. I would imagine this one's going to get moving. Another China small cap right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. And there were some other ones. I forget what they were. WTO and UCAR. Let's see what they're up to right now. I have them a little out of order. But WTO, that's way down there and looking pretty good, crawling up. So definitely keep an eye on that. Let me write these down real quick. WTO. And what was it? The YDKG and LD, whatever. LB. GJ, whatever the heck it is. Them letters always confuse the hell out of me. And yeah, WTO and UCAR right here. That was pulling back a little bit today, but not looking too bad. And that's a China one, two something. And the 20 and 50 are meeting together right there and not looking bad for UCAR. So we'll keep an eye on them guys tomorrow, and maybe the China small caps can get cruising, because clearly the quantum and them ones are definitely not moving right now. That's for sure. You can see that them things are not moving, and the market's going to be pulling back. So a lot of times when that happens, it rotates into the penny stocks, and you do see these small caps, and we know the China ones can go crazy. So we'll be keeping an eye on them, and that is excuse me, and that will be looking at them in the morning tomorrow, along with shorting the market and all that good stuff. So we'll keep an eye on all that good stuff, and let's keep on cruising right through. And TONX got beat down today. Oh man, that one took a beating as well. I'm not sure. They're in that quiet period. I was talking about that last night, and it was crickets over there today for sure, down 16%. So not looking good. They had 1.38 million in volume, and it dipped down really hard. So that did not look good. we did call that the news was coming out, but they never PR'd it because I guess they couldn't. I don't know. I've never even heard of that stuff. But again, I never really followed them things before, but now I'm kind of following it and learning more about the market. And that's always fun. Always learning new stuff is a good thing. So I didn't even know what a quiet period was. I didn't even know they had them. Let's put it that way. So you guys know. I just know how to look at stock charts, but been definitely learning more about the companies and their evaluation and things of that nature. But I still base everything off the stock chart. But it's still cool to know more about the companies and just knowing more knowledge is always nice, I guess. And so there you are with that. And let's look at this one. Remember, we were saying it was getting right down there at the right spot to run up. Why didn't we look at this one? I mean, it had that nice dip today, and NIXX. And that one could be one that's going to get cruising some more, guys. So remember, I told you Stock Authority was saying, just watch this thing pull back and base out, and it should get curled up and running. I think he might have been on to something. So there you go. Thank you, Stock Authority. And it does look pretty good. LITM still pulling back right here. I've been watching this one to see when this one wants to get ready. So maybe this one will base out down on this level, and it'll be good for LITM. So yeah, NIXX not looking bad right there. So keep your eye on that one tomorrow when there's not a whole lot going on. That one could be moving. And I don't even know where that is on there. But anyway, here we go. Let's keep on cruising. And what the heck, BBWI, that Bath and Body Work. Where did I? Oh, there it is up there. I was like, where is that thing at? And that's because I jumped out of order and did WTO and UCAR already, and I got all kinds of confused. But anyway, we did LITM. Here's BBWI. Took another dip today, so maybe it's not going to set up for the holiday season this year. I don't know. I thought it was. It was trying to anyway. It started to run up, and then the market just became a quick disaster real fast in the last few days, and it really was dipping down today. So that's what it looks like for BBWI and Sinez Tech pulling back. And I think Ben is going to have an interview soon, and somebody mentioned something about possible lawsuit. I know he was contacting him. He had mentioned it because he said people were asking him about it. So I know he didn't know anything about it, and I don't know anything about it, obviously. And but we'll be watching that thing. It did look like it was trying to bottom out right there, but if there's some kind of lawsuit mentioned, then that's not going to be good. But anyway, you do have that happen all the time. I'm not sure. We'll find out that information for you guys, and we'll be watching that to try to set up there. And that is SNES and IVF right here. Was pulling back a little bit, and we'll see. I think it is going to try to get set up. Look at it trying to hit the MACD. Maybe it bounces off one more time and gets set up, but I don't think it's going to dip down really hard again. Possibly anything's possible in this market, but it doesn't look too bad right there for that IVF. So let's keep an eye on that one to try to get set up. And we did look at our WTO, UCAR, TONX, and then some of these other ones. And DLXY, we've been talking about this one the last few nights, getting set up in this channel right here. And as you can see, it's not looking bad right there. I'll pull it up over here for us. And that's DXLY right there. Oh, where'd it go? Holy cow. What is going on? What did I do? DXLY. What is it? DL. Why isn't it coming up? There it is. What was I typing in? I have no idea what I was even typing in. Excuse me. Yeah, so DLXY looking pretty good there. I would say let's keep an eye on DLXY going into tomorrow again. It's just been kind of setting up, looking pretty decent, and in that channel right there. So when there's not a whole lot of setups going on, these ones should look pretty good for tomorrow as they're trying to get set up. I mean, they're at least better looking than most other things, but we already know we're shorting the market down and things of that nature. And then we keep up on it in the Discord. So we always know what's going on. It's not really a problem, but we're just trying to find some opportunities tomorrow in the red market. ORIS, this one had popped up today pretty well. And I know it was like at like 19 cents or something. What did it get to? 22. It got to 23 cents, as a matter of fact, right there. So, and then it pulled back. Towards the end of the day, I did see that, but that was ORIS. I had that on the night note. We've been talking about it. So it did run up there today, and that might be, look at them. It had them kind of run ups. We'll have to look at it tomorrow and see what it looks like after that run up for ORIS right there. But there you go. Another one we were talking about ran up. And how about Eli Lilly? I think I'll just call it LLY, but it keeps cruising, guys. Why were we not all over this thing as we talked about it and debated what the heck the name was? We should have been debating on how many shares and options to buy in it, because it's ran up the last 2 nights that we talked about it. For LLY right there, Robin and Luis Rodriguez, and you're talking about Lulu, and that's your next big one right there. Luis Rodriguez is going to like Lulu when it pops down here, and some of these apparel ones have been getting beat down a lot this year. So I guess you think that I don't know if you think the whole sector is going to get cruising like Nike and stuff like that. There's a lot of them beat down, and obviously that's consumer spending right there, which is getting beat down as well with the prices of everything. So people aren't spending extra on Nike and Lulu when your groceries cost a fortune, and our electric bill, I think, is going to be out of astronomical. It looks like she won, I think, 100%, huh? That did not jump off a cliff today. I guess what's her name? Mikey Sherrill. I guess she won the governor's, Luis Rodriguez. So we're in definite trouble right now, that's for sure, because this lady's crazy. Anyway, there you go for that. And hey, the Fed decision, not that one. That one too was curling up for your 0.25 decrease, as we said it would. We weren't really that concerned about this one. And you can see these ones are curling down. They didn't even get that close to each other. But that government shutdown got crazy today, guys. Let me show you this thing right here. And it looks like they're going to resolve it. It's even coming down. Look at that, November 10th. And these things were you can see, look at that, like November 16th plus started to come down. The November 8th to 11 started to take over, and now it looks like the 16th plus could be trying to curl up, but I don't know if it's going to be able to get through now that it'll probably pull back, and that 8 through 11. So maybe we'll see a shutdown get resolved real soon, guys. And that might boost the markets possibly. And they're talking November 10th. So it does say 8th through 11th is that one. So that is what it looks like right there. So that could be some decent news for us with the government shutdown still looming. And I bet the SNAP benefits getting put down. That's going to speed up the government shutdown getting resolved real quick when you start taking people's food away. And like I said, there's 40 million plus people on them SNAP benefits, and I don't even know if that includes like all the different benefits. I know there's EBT and all kinds of stuff, but anyway, we were talking about it last night. But that's a hell of a lot of people. But that's a lot of people that are relying on food as well. And oh yeah, that'll definitely get things moving, I would say, because then there's a lot of people bitching about it, and it's not a good look, obviously. So I guess they're trying to figure it out. I have no idea, but I'm just telling you what the chart looked like, and I noticed it today. I was like, oh wow, did they say something? I don't know. Did they actually mention something today? But there you go. And the LLY, we were talking about Eli Lilly, whatever the hell it's called, LLY. I'm just calling it that for now on and making it easier. But there you go. It's running up there, and it probably doesn't even look bad for tomorrow. MSPR ran up some more today a little bit, and it wasn't much considering what it did run up to the other day, which is yesterday, and it ran up pretty significantly to like 109, and today it was 57 to 85. So there you go. And Bitcoin is at 99,698, so it's back under 100,000 right there. There you go. So yeah, pretty wild, guys. Crypto just took that major of a hit, and came down lower than them big dips that we saw that Friday. I guess that should have been a sign when it got sold off and then kept bouncing down. And remember, I was saying it's got to get cruising up that other day, and look which way it went, straight down. We should have known to short this thing down, that's for sure. Why don't we take advantage of these things next time? Because I definitely was saying it has to get cruising right here, or it's going to be in bad shape. And I'd say it's in bad shape right there, that's for sure. But there is Bitcoin back under 100,000, so that's crazy right there. And Michael Anthony was trying to tell us, huh? And yeah, he sure was. He did. This guy calling all kinds of crazy stuff. What's going on with Michael Anthony? Um, is he getting all his info from Kramer, and Kramer finally figured everything out? I'm not actually sure what the heck's going on over there, but it is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, let's go back to our show and see what's going on here. MSPR was running up. This GHI wasn't looking bad. We were talking about last night, and this thing could be a pretty good setup right there. And there isn't much to see, but GHI not looking bad. You can keep an eye on that. And VNTG. And here is that Vantage. I thought it said vintage yesterday, but it says Vantage. It was just running around today, not a whole lot. I guess maybe a pullback in the after hours, but still trying to get set up right there. And Chipotle still down, but getting set up as well. And in the basement right here, so we'll be keeping an eye on it. It still has a little bit of time, so we can watch for some dips on Chipotle. And that is CMG. TVRD was another one way down, dipped down a little bit, and you can see that one pull back. And that has a lot of I mean, look at that thing, guys. That thing gets rolling. It's at like 439. The last time it was trading, it was like in the 42s. I don't know what the heck was going on with this biotech company. When was that day? October 10th. And so what happened right around there? I don't even know, some kind of data that didn't go well, I'm sure. So that's TVRD, and not familiar with it, but we will be keeping an eye on that one. That is for sure. And UHG right here, that United Homes Group, was looking pretty good as well, trying to bottom out down here. So keep an eye on that one as well. And that is UHG right there. So that's another one. And TDIC, let me take a look at that one, see what that's up to, because that was trying to cruise up today. I remember seeing it. And that's another one, guys. So there was a couple that I put on the list yesterday that were trying to get set up here and not looking bad. And that was a couple of them right there. And then this MODD was up a penny, nothing crazy, but you can keep an eye on that as well right there. And CHR, that one came up a little bit. That one wasn't looking bad. That's a penny stock right there, a China one, CHR. And this STFS, I think, is another one. So I did have a couple of them on there from last night. And there you go. That was just bouncing around a little bit right there, STFS, but not looking bad. And again, there's some penny stocks, China ones. And they're volatile, but they can get cruising just as much as they can come down. They can go up a lot too. And there's your RKT Zach rocket companies right here. And it's trying to bounce up. I think it looks pretty strong. I mean, considering the rest of the market doesn't look very good, I would say that RKT looks pretty strong right there. So we will keep an eye on rocket companies. And that used to be Rocket More. It is Rocket Mortgage, I mean. So there you go at RKT. And what's Rocket Labs doing? I forget what it is. RKLB. And let's see, that one was pulling back to that trend line. That looks like it's going down even more right there. Aerospace and defense. I don't know. I just thought of it when we were doing rocket companies right there. And anyway, here we go. And we have WTF on here, that Watton Financial, just kind of jumping around today, but looks like it's trying to cross over. I mean, it looks like it's trying to tomorrow. I'd keep an eye on that one as well. And that looks like it could be getting set up, WTF. And let's see that W. That's a new letter for us. W, guys. TWG. It means W. And Top Wealth Group right there. I just made up a new letter for us. And that one is not looking bad. I know it was jumping around, but you guys know when it gets that look, it could easily pop off of there for W right there, TWG. So yeah, keep an eye on TWG there tomorrow. That could be a pretty good one in the morning. And I hope you guys like our new letter of the day. And it is W. And here is Boyle right here. And that one's looking pretty good. I know we were looking at this last night and it was up. That's the natural gas. And they look like they're trying to run up a little bit. So keep an eye on that. And we should look at some natural gas. Which ones are good natural gas ones? Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel and everyone. Throw some over here and we'll take a look at some, because they could be setting up. Gush right there, a little bit of pullback, but not too bad looking. So that's your oil and gas as well, but the other natural gas one's looking pretty good for Boyle. And I forget what the opposite of that one is. It's I forget, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's keep on cruising. That BTGD not looking good. We should have shorted this thing down as well. We could have shorted everything down pretty well. And we probably would have done pretty well on that. And SOLT right here, another big dip. So we don't even have to bother with all them. And your J Nug, like I said, you could have put puts on that or just went with the J Dust right here. And that did jump up. What J Nug went down just as much as J Dust went up. Yeah, pretty much. And so there you go, right there. And so yeah, that was our gold, and it wasn't looking very good. And that DZZ was trying to run back up. And remember, I was saying I didn't understand how that thing was dipping down yesterday. Well, it ran back up. I guess it wasn't really trying to run back down. It was curling right back up right there. So that is DZZ. You guys can keep an eye on that one tomorrow too. And it is a lot of ETS short in the market and them, and that is the opposite of boil is cold. Thank you very much, Luis Rodriguez. You're absolutely right. That's the short for natural gas right there, and boil is the old bull for it. Whoop, where am I going? There we go. So yeah, there you go, right there. They are the two boil and cold, and that is it, I believe. But anyway, UNL, what's that one? That's United States 12-month natural gas fund. And look at that thing. That thing is trying to run up there today, 7 cents, and then pulling back a little in the after hours. So there's one HSIC. Henry Sheen, I don't know what that is. That's a medical distribution. I don't know what he's up to, but Henry's up to some crazy stuff today in a rough market. He's jumping up 10%, having a good old day. So Henry had a party at his office today, Henry Sheen, and it looks like they're going to continue that party tomorrow. So you can look at that one tomorrow. HSIC looking pretty good. Who mentioned that? Luis Rodriguez right there. That one's bro. How the heck do you know that one? Medical distribution. I don't even know that company at all. That's pretty wild. And anyway, EXPD, is that Expedia? No, it's not. It's Expedia. What? X I can't even say that thing. Anyway, it's something that I can't even pronounce. Let's put it that way. I can't even say that word. My brain doesn't like to say things like that. I can't even say that word. I'm trying to say it in my head and it's just not even gonna work. Anyway, so you guys can laugh about it. I told you I can't. It's so funny. I can't read things. And good thing the stock charts don't have any words and letters on it or anything like that because I don't even know what the hell's going on. And here you go. 1327. This thing was jumping up. It's some kind of freight and logistics. I can see that. And it's in the US and it is hopping up there. Did they have earnings right there today? I'm imagining November 4th. And I'm guessing they beat it. It looks like so. It did jump up and they estimated that and they beat it. They beat this one too. So there you go. EXPD. Not sure what the company's called, but again, it is jumping up there and could have some momentum in the morning for that one. So there you go with that. Some good ones from Luis Rodriguez. And let's keep on cruising right through. See what else we have on our list here. And then we'll go ahead and see what the rest is what you want guys want to look at. No real big sports games on tonight either. Obviously, it's a Tuesday night, so you don't have NFL, and the World Series is over. So I guess I can cover some hockey. When's I don't basketball's on. I don't know if it's just a preseason or not. I didn't even look. No, they just started the season. That's right. They did just start the season because they started the season. They were like 2 games into it when that big scandal broke for the NBA betting and stuff like that, or whatever the heck was going on. So yeah, they did just start the season. I don't really follow it except in the basically the championships and the series for that, and don't really follow basketball too much anymore, but hockey we can go over. I do love hockey, and obviously the football games. But it was fun for the World Series, that's for sure. And it was a good World Series, I must say. But anyway, let's get back to this and see what's going to be good for tomorrow in the market. And yeah, J Nug, all them, we looked at them, and this was shorting Bitcoin down. We should have taken this one for a ride down 11%. Look at that bad boy, and it still looks like it wants to go up there. So there you go for SBIT. And you guys can check that out. We were looking at that last night. And let's see, John Kerry, what's going on with Bitcoin? Is it going to bottom out and go up? We're asking the same thing with you, John Kerry. That's for sure. It is a disaster right now for everything in the market. So I guess it all topped out and it's all coming down. and I'm sure it'll all get set back up and run back up right real quick. And we've seen it happen before, so we'll take them as opportunities. We've been saying to have cash on hand. I didn't realize crypto was going to be dipping down that hard though, and Bitcoin be going under 100,000. Solana back to 150 right now. Ripple at 212. I'd say you got some good price action right there. That's for sure. And let's take a look and see what else is going on. Here's that Sprouts, and I know Michael Anthony was asking about it right at the end of the show, so I had to jot it down right here. And let's see what good old Sprouts is up to right here. So SFM. And let's see what's happening with SFM. It is in the basement still. It is trying to get set up. It does not look bad, I must say, but it's not like it's I mean, it's trying to crawl. I don't think it's going to get blasting off tomorrow, but it is trying to get set up right here. You can see it ran up early this morning, came back down, bottomed out around 12:30 ish right there, and then ran back up 12:45, and then went back up right there. So nice little pattern, and it is getting set up. So that's a nice little setup pattern for SFM. So yeah, absolutely keep an eye on that one. And this one we were talking about last night, Founder Group, and this one was running up pretty good today, and that is FGL. And there you go. It was running up yesterday, ran up a little bit more today. So if you could have caught that one and had that one running around for you, Cigna was running up today and not looking bad for tomorrow. So keep an eye on CI right here. And that one is looking pretty decent. So you might want to keep an eye, definitely a CI on Cigna right there. So keep both CIs on Cigna because that is looking really good. And it could keep cruising back up. And let's see, what else do I have on here? We looked at Turn last night. I don't even remember. Did Luis Rodriguez mention this? Sounds like something he'd mentioned. I'd never heard of it, but that thing was cruising up today. I meant to mention it to Ben because I was looking at it and then I forgot to say something to him. TERN, and I was looking at it because it was on our list yesterday, and I did see it have some momentum. So there you go. Excuse me. Holy cow. There you go for TERN. Good old Turn right there. And let's see what else is going on. We're just about done this list. And we have our Jolie's Jumpers or Jolie's Jams and our laptop travel list, which have some good ones on there. And there's that IONC. And again, we were talking about these last night. And that PLTZ. And these were two that we mentioned last night. Two great ones you could have played today. And obviously, we were already talking about Hertz right here, HTZ. And I do think that one could keep that momentum for tomorrow as well. So definitely keep an eye on that. And look at Tyson Foods right here, not looking too bad. As we go into Thanksgiving, I wonder if this runs like every November. Look at that right there into Thanksgiving. And I only say that because don't they have turkeys or whatever? And let's see, right in November, look at that, boom. And let's see, let's go back another year. And right into November, well, this one came back down. So there you go. That's interesting. I guess it depends on what the year's doing. And this one ran right up. And usually, right in this time, the market runs up, as you can see. And let's go back and see, and right in there. So there you go with TSN. I mean, I went back, there was 1 year where it actually pulled back right there. And it does look pretty good. And I just thought about it like, this one might run for Thanksgiving, as a matter of fact. So that one could be a good one to keep an eye on right there. Good old Tyson Foods, TSN. The chart caught my eye, and I thought about it as I was looking at it. Like, I could see this one, and I didn't go back and look at it, to be honest. I just figured we'd do it on the show. They have earnings coming up on November 10th, so that'll be next Monday right there. So there you go, Doge Mama 9. And let's look at FEMY right here and see what it's doing. Oh, yeah, that one looks really good there for tomorrow. I would say let's keep an eye on that FEMY. What is it? Femasius? I don't even know what that is. A medical instrument company or supply company or something like that. But it was running up there looking pretty good. And I would say that does look pretty nice right there. So let's definitely keep an eye on that. And let's go through and see our Jolie's Jams, our laptop travel list real quick. We'll run through the Spy Mag 7. We can do that list really quick, or we don't even need to do it because honestly, we know every one of them is probably down, but we can just run through it really fast. and go cruising right and do that. And then I'll come through and see exactly what you guys want to see. So if you guys want to see anything, feel free to post them up there and we'll take a look at everything. And I'll tell you what, I talk so much now, like doing all the Discord and everything, I can't consume enough water. I swear. I just like drink water all day and then I'm still thirsty. So I've noticed that doing like I probably do like almost 6 hours of podcasting a day now. It's actually fun. I enjoy it, so I'm not complaining. But it definitely that's why I have to drink so much water. I feel like I just get dehydrated quick. So yeah, I've been just chugging tons of water, and so just pardon me. I don't mind. I don't mean to keep drinking water, but I keep getting so thirsty from talking so much all the time. So anyway, that's that. And here we go. Let's roll right through and see what our rhythm's doing. Get into a rhythm and see what's happening. We've been getting into a rhythm on the Discord in the morning. I'll tell you that. We've been crushing it every day. I'm telling you, our calls are perfect. All you have to do is tune in, listen, and it's been money in the bank for everybody. I promise you, everyone's. Joseph's making a fortune. Louis Rodriguez, you're probably making a fortune on there, but Doge Mama Nine's been doing well, and everybody else is on there. Sam has been crushing it. Robin was taking advantage of it, and so many other people. Joseph Levy also. So yeah, Janica, all kinds of people in there. As a matter of fact, enjoying the Discord and the live trading. And like I said, we try to give you everything what the market's going to do and just hand it right to you there. So I hope everybody's enjoying that. It is a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people have been doing well. Sam's going to have his best week ever, he said, and he's probably had a great couple weeks. He's been crushing the market. We know Joseph Levy did really well and is trying to keep it going right there. Doge Mama Nine's hitting 100%ers. She just hit one, and Sam's still holding some 623 puts for that QQQ that will open nicely tomorrow, and that'll just continue your beautiful week right there, Sam. So yeah, you're just having a great time. And I told you you'd get to say you told you so to bed this morning. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, we just have a good time in the morning and in the afternoon in the Discord. And like I said, Ben and I, we just have we just go through the market. He does his thing, and I sit there and talk about all the different charts. We even talk over each other a few times, but we try not to do that too often. And yeah, it's just we it's entertaining, that's for sure. And then we get into the live trading part, and he has all the news feeds and all that going on, and it's just a lot going on, but a lot of educational stuff as well. And I'm literally just telling you when the bottoms and tops of the charts are going. And I nailed the which one did I hit today? Was it the IWMs or the Qs? I don't even remember what it was, but it was like literally like 3 minutes it was over 30%, like the snap of a finger. So I forget exactly which one it was, but I was playing that. And yeah, we just have a good time, and everybody's been doing pretty well in there, I must say. So if you have any questions, obviously reach out, hit me up on X, shoot me a DM, and I respond to everybody. So there you go, Sam, and we'll see what's going on in the morning with them. But let's see what's going on with our Jolie's Jumpers list, or Jolie's Jams list. And a lot of them are jamming on their way down right now, like Blink charging. Sezzle right here was pulling back. I did see that. They have earnings coming up. And the Sterling pulled back. So you know what, guys? We're putting this on our watch list for tomorrow. STRL. We better watch this damn thing because this thing loves to bounce right back up. Anytime that it has any kind of runaround, spike ups, bounce downs, pullbacks, anything like that, it jumps right back up. So let's keep an eye on it and see what it wants to do there tomorrow. It almost looks like it wants to come down. So we'll have to look at it. Maybe it will come down to the 20, and it'll be a great opportunity there. And it jumps up quite a bit. It'll jump up like $20, $30 in a day. Like it's no big deal, and it does it all the time. So we will be watching that Sterling right there. And Rivian had their earnings today, and I don't know how. I forget what they did. They must have beat EPS revenue right there, but EPS gap, I don't know what any of that even means, to be honest with you. You guys know that. So, yeah, it was coming up a little bit in the after hours, but it did run up and flattened out right there, and that was good old Rivian right there. Remember we were saying it was kind of setting up, and I don't even play the earnings, obviously, but I don't even know if it was just trying to get set up and it ran up. I don't even know if it's really up, to be honest with you. So there you go for Rivian, and we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. See if Rivian wants to actually start moving, but I don't know. I saw them things for like 2 weeks. I guess they were just like driving them around from the dealership or something, because I've yet to see any more except for the one guy that has it in town, and that's it. It was kind of bizarre. For like 2 weeks, I saw like 4 or 5 of them. I was like, that is really weird. And yeah, I think they were just like driving them around, so it looked like there was Rivians out on the road, and I don't really think that people were really driving them. It was kind of like how Red Bull in the beginning, they used to just like send people out and throw Red Bull cans in the street and stuff to make it look like people were drinking Red Bull. That's what Rivian was doing. They were just like driving them around towns and making it look like people were driving Rivians, but I don't think they were. I'm not even kidding, because there was like 2 weeks and then that was it. But there you go for Rivian, and not doing too well right there. And our Symbiotic was coming down today, and it had been running up, and maybe short that one down. We'll look at it tomorrow. But there you go with your Jolie's Jams, and let's take a look at our laptop travel list. There's some good ones, because I looked at some from last night, and this Grand, I didn't notice that it was pulling back that much in the after hours. Let me see. It didn't look like it was anyway. It does say it on Finviz. I'd have to look at it, but that setup looks really good. This is saying it's at 293, and down here, I'd have to look at that in the morning. It didn't look like that. I don't know when did it pull back there, as a matter of fact, like right at the end, because I was going to say that thing wasn't looking that bad. I mean, I don't even know what's going on with that chart actually. But anyway, I'll look at that thing in the morning and see what's going on with it. It didn't look that bad today. GRAN. And let's see what else is on this list right here. HLLY. Whoop, can't put a 7 in there, I don't think. That usually doesn't work in stock tickers. But HLLY, Holly, or whatever it is, this one was up a little bit. We looked at it last night, not looking too bad, trying to get into that channel right there. And we'll have like that Pac-Man look. So you can keep an eye on HLLY. That one looks pretty decent right there. And VEEE. Oh, not B. That's too many. That's a B, and this is V, the twin V Power Cats recreational vehicles. And remember, we said last night that I wanted to drive up, and there you go. And that one could continue its way up right there with a little momentum. So you can watch VEEE, V with 3 E's right there, and that could continue that momentum going into tomorrow. Is looking pretty strong at the end of the day right there. So there you go with the twin power cats, and we'll look at that one in the morning, that's for sure. And Thar, this one was looking pretty decent, and it had taken that big dip off of that trend line right there and trying to crawl up. So we will watch this one as well. So a couple that grabbed my attention. Remember, this one spiked up yesterday. We were looking at it, and it still didn't look bad today. So couple from yesterday that looked good, grabbed my attention, and I figured let me throw them back on the list. And then we have VNRX right here, and that one actually is trying to curl up. That one looks pretty good. Laptop travel. And ELSE Electro Sensors. This was on the list, I think, last night. Possibly, I don't really remember, maybe last week, but that's looking pretty good to get set up right there. And FGLL, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know if I wrote that down right, to be honest. I'd have to look. But I know Sox is right here, is our semiconductor bear. And Laptop Travel is saying that's going up, and it does look like it's going up, which means Soxel must be going down right there. And that is certainly going down. So there you go, SOXS. I do like that right there, Laptop Travel, with your semiconductors being bearish at the moment. So keep an eye on that. And our UVXY, I saw you had it on the list, so I figured we'd go over it right here. And yeah, look at that 20 and 50 meeting up, and that is looking pretty good right there, guys, I must say. So ran up at the end of the day as well, and it does look pretty good. And your futures, your VIX is looking pretty good. Remember, we were saying this last night. You got to be worried when they look that good, and that thing could curl through and get that good spike up again, and then you'll have it crashing back down, and then we'll take the market the other way for sure. So there you are with that. It's FGL right there. So here we go. Let's look at FG. Oh yeah, FGL. You're right. Founder group. Duh, one too many L's. And there you are. And we already looked at that, and it was looking pretty good. And that one could continue tomorrow as well for FGL. So thank you, Luis Rodriguez. You definitely are paying attention more than me. And yeah, Sox is good. And the VIX and the UVXY VNRX right here, not looking bad, I must say. And WEBS Webs is our daily Dow Jones Internet Bear 3 times. That's an interesting one. I don't even know what the heck that does. Internet Bear, huh? Well, I'd say that looks pretty damn good right there for WEBS. So you might want to keep an eye on that one tomorrow. And that is a 3-time one. And that looks really good. And look at it, was up 1.5% in the after hours. WEBS, not even familiar with that laptop travel, but I really like that look right there. That's a beauty. And I think we might have to be keeping an eye on that one tomorrow. So thank you. And YIBO right here is Planet Image International. And let's see what that looks like. Not too bad. It is a China one. And again, the China ones aren't looking too bad right there. So that is what that looks like. And remember this one? We definitely looked at DTCK not long ago. Holy cow! We looked at it. We saw it yesterday. It was running up, and it ran up even more today. It was even nuttier. So you can look at it again tomorrow. I'm not sure if it has more in it, but it doesn't look bad to continue to go. And this EVOK went nutty, I think, in the after hours. I'm not exactly sure when it was, or did it just run up all day right there? I'm not sure what happened with this thing. To be honest, it almost looks like a yeah, what the heck even happened with it today? They had an agreement acquired by QOL Medical or something. So that's what was going on for 11 per share. So that's why it just shot right up there and stayed there like that. They're getting acquired. So there you go at EVOK. So if you were in that one early, you did pretty well with that as well. And let's see what else is going on. That CHBM trying, that one doesn't look too bad. CMBM, Cambium. Remember this one? It is trying to cruise back up. Maybe we should keep an eye on that. Someone said to look at this last night. I forget. Was it you, Doge Mama 9, possibly? But that one could be a nice little momentum play tomorrow, running back up right there for CMBM. And let's see what else is going on here. Let's look at our Spy Mag 7 big caps, and I'll come back and check out what you guys want to look at, and we'll just run through these real quick. You can see Apple started to move today, and I'll just start right there. I don't know what Planet Labs is. I don't know where I even got that from, but there's Apple, and it did start to run up. I'm not saying it looks great, but it could curl off of that MACD and run up a little bit. So maybe Apple has a little bit of news coming out. Not exactly sure. But I would say out of them all at the moment, Apple looked probably the best for you. So you can keep an eye on Apple, that's for sure. And that'll be, we'll look at that in the morning too. Obviously, we look at all the Mag 7 and we'll see what they're doing. But there's your SPY. It was way down. Still looks like it wants to come down right there. And let's go through the rest of them because Amazon was pulling back as well. Google was pulling back there, and Meta definitely pulling back pretty big. So you can also look at, remember I was saying, look at the old MET, D, was it? No, U. No, was it D? Yeah, that was the bear one right here. And obviously they're running up. So if you wanted to play the ETS right there, I don't know if there's a 3-time. That's the bull. And that's the inverse for something else. That's not it. And yeah, there's only a 1-timer right there. But anyway, that is your bear 1-time that I see. And that is your Meta. So you can check out the ETFs as well on the way down. Microsoft heading back down a little bit more. We'll see if it wants to continue back down. And the video right here was dipping down after yesterday's fun day running up there. So didn't last very long, and didn't last for Tesla either. So Tesla came dipping down pretty quick, and that's what your Mag 7 looks like, and that's why Apple looks the best. AMC right here pulling back some more. Earnings coming up on Thursday, right? On the 5th. No, that's tomorrow. What am I talking about? Today's the 4th. AFC earnings tomorrow. We'll be watching that one. And GameStop right here pulling back to the trend line. So we'll see if that one wants to get cruising off of there. And let's see what the rest of this list wants to do, like Chewy and Unity. Chewy, I mean, not looking bad down there. If I had to say something was trying to get set up, I would say Chewy is. And Unity's back down to its trend line. And they look like they have earnings tomorrow. Is that so? Yes, it is. So what was it? Was it GameStop? I forget what I even said there. Um, no, I don't even know what I said. Was it AMC? Yeah, AMC's tomorrow. All right. So AMC's tomorrow and Chewy right there, I believe. So there you go. Two more earnings tomorrow. There's a bunch of them tomorrow. I know that. And Netflix, there's a bunch of them today. Netflix going down. Remember, we were saying that Netflix looked like it was going to dip down some more. It certainly is. An AVGO took a nice big dip. And it does look like your semiconductors are coming down. Laptop travel with that SOXS. So I think that'll be a good call. MU looks like it has a lot of room to come down right there. So that could be a good one to short. Do they have a ETF on the way down? Let's look at it right here. MU, what is it? I don't see. There's a long one. I don't see a bear. I didn't see it when I was going through. That doesn't mean there's not one, but I just don't see it. So if anyone knows of an MU bear one, let us know, but I do not see one. Did I have one? Wait, MUUU. Hold on, another U right there. That's that. What's the MUD? That's a one time. There you go. MUD. Mud. And like this thing's getting out of the mud right now. That's for sure. Write mud down for tomorrow. That's looking pretty good, I must say. And that's your MU bear. So you can do mud or you can put a put on MU. They look like they're pretty safe for tomorrow, and we'll be watching that as well right there. And let's keep on cruising. TSM was dipping down. That looks like it's coming down some more. What was another one for TSM? I mean, you can just take all the semiconductors down at this point, it looks like, as well. And SMCI, that got beat down after the earnings today. That one definitely came dipping down. And AMD also came down after earnings right there. I don't even know. I think they might have beat them, but it wasn't that great. I have no idea. You can see they reported a little bit of a bump on the EPS. They were up on that EPS gap, and the revenue they beat by 489 million, perhaps. I'm not even sure what that even says, but it is pulling back. And again, the market's just not liking anything. We were watching this thing, and it is dipping down. So I do think the entire market's coming down right here, and we will watch it dip. And the SQQQs, we were talking about getting them at the end of the in the after hours as well, and they're moving up. So that's another way to short the market, 2-3 times ultra pro shorts. And there you go for your SQQQ. And let's keep on cruising right through and see what Qualcomm and Snow are up to, because Qualcomm took a nice dip and Snow went way down. So everything coming down right there. Good old PayPal dipping down. Looks like it wants to come down a little bit more. And Intel looks like it might be coming down pretty good right there. So, holy cow, Intel looks like it wants to be cruising down for sure. And how about Dell dipping down under the 20? That looks like it could continue its way. And IBM just actually trying to stop itself right there on the MACD. We'd have to look at it tomorrow. Palantir took a nice dip back down to the trend line, and we'd have to look at that. And what about SoFi or Sophie or whatever it's called? And that is just kind of hanging out in that channel. That took one of the least dips out of all of them right there, surprisingly, to be honest with you. And Mara and Riot, they got beat down right there. I know that today. And even Clean Spark and MicroStrategy, these guys got beat down. Look at MicroStrategy way down. Remember we were saying watch for that trend line? It happened pretty fast, though. I wasn't expecting it to happen like the snap of a finger, but we know that these things can bounce like that in the snap of a finger. So you definitely have to be ready to ride them back up pretty quick. And we will be watching for things to see if they get ready. And that is MicroStrategy. And obviously our crypto, here's Hood was coming down, Coinbase coming down, and Bull was obviously coming down as well. Now it's under $10 into the 9. So I just been being patient. I had bought a couple options, and then I was just kind of waiting as it jumped around, and now it's back down here. So I'll be buying them. They were looking good, and when it's getting set up and it pulls back, it's just a great opportunity right there. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. And space right here is kind of pulling back at the moment. It was looking way better before. Boeing right there. We thought Boeing was kind of pulling back. It certainly is, but the whole market is. So DJT down under 14 now. Michael Anthony in the 1382. So there you go. We'll get to Michael Anthony in a half hour when Kramer's over. I guess he'll hop on. But we've been doing some shorter shows the last few nights just because the market's a little iffy and we've been flying right through everything. And let's look and see what Nike's doing. We already looked at it. It is down. Lulu is down as well. We were talking about them a little bit ago. McDonald's has earnings tomorrow, I believe, guys, and it's trying to bounce up right there. So maybe McDonald's will do pretty well with its earnings. MCD, it does look pretty good. So you can keep an eye on that one for an earnings right there. MCD with an E right there, and that's a good one. And you can't miss Kramer, that's for sure. Zach, you don't want to miss that show. And Oxy right here, dipping down a little bit more. Thought that was trying to set up, and ExxonMobil had been dipping down, and that tried to run up today. So there you go, Michael Anthony. We were just talking about it. Kramer just ended. And what about MSTX? Near support right there. That's your micro strategy one. And I don't know if it's near any support except for like the bottom of Finviz, but these things can continue to go right down, to be honest with you. And that is your MSTX MicroStrategy ETF. And weren't you saying the other day that these things were going to be pulling back? How did you know that, Michael Anthony? And there you are, MSTX. But yeah, that is pulling back. It will bottom out. It doesn't like to get into the basement. I'll show you. Gets in there. Well, this is new. Some of these don't get into the basement very often. Obviously, this hasn't had time to get into the basement. So you sold DJT last week before down big. So there you are on that, Michael Anthony, and it is way down there, that's for sure. You could be seeing it get down here in the low 13s real quick on DJT. So that is dipping down. And let's take a look and see what else is going on in our market. So that was our good ones. And DXYZ, let's look at that Destiny Tech, because that was pulling back as well. And maybe we get it back down here at another good price. So that is what the market looks like, and not a lot of great good spots right there, or positive ones. I think we noticed that last night as the market was pulling back, and so yeah, it's not really hopping, but there are some good ones for tomorrow. Cigna, Hertz, FEMY, a couple other ones on there. Of course, we're watching that Sterling, and we're going to be shorting things down. We already were shorting things down overnight. So if you're in Discord, like I said, we were on live trading doing it, and you could have followed along or not. I tell you guys, I tell you what to do, but then don't follow my exact trades. And what I've been actually doing way better, and yeah, so that's that. And I tell you guys about, I literally bought the wrong options yesterday. I thought I bought them for today to expire, and I bought the ones at zero. I bought the yesterday ones like an idiot, and they were obviously expired, and they would have been worth a fortune this morning. So that wasn't very bright, guys. So like I said, we all make crazy mistakes doing this. It's such a fast-paced thing, so that's part of the thing too, trying to limit the mistakes that you make. Ben accidentally shorted down in the afternoon, and he got right out of it, but he hit an extra zero or something and had this huge short position on something. I don't even remember what the hell it was. And then he was like, "Wait a second, what does that say?" And then he was like, "Holy cow!" And he was trying to get out of it. It was crazy. So yeah, he's always making mistakes over there too. So it moves fast, and you got to kind of try to navigate around while you're looking at charts and doing everything, and also buy and sell things. It gets a little bit crazy sometimes, but there you are. And Michael Anthony sold his DJT around $16 and took a little loss on it, but it's all good. And did Pfizer report their earnings? I'm not even sure, Michael Anthony. Did they have earnings today? It looks like they might have. They sure did, and they surprised the EPS up 37%. The EPS gap right there, they were up on that over almost 12%. And the revenue, they had over 55 million, I think it says. Yeah, 55 million. They beat the estimate by. So there you go on Pfizer, but I don't think it was really moving today, to be honest with you. So it looks like you might get it down at a lower price. You were saying 23, I think, or something like that. And Disney is hanging on by a thread, that's for sure, Luis Rodriguez. It was trying to look pretty good the other day. I don't think it's going to at this point. I think you might be getting that pullback on it. And even with their earnings coming up November 13th, I think it's pretty safe to say Disney might be pulling back, and Pfizer is down right there. SPFE down. It was down a little bit. It was down today. It went up a little in the after hours. Nothing too crazy, Michael Anthony. It jumped up early this morning, then pulled back and stayed down for the most part. So that's what it looked like for your PFE. And let's see what else is going on. Let me go through and see what you guys are looking at, Janica and Luis Rodriguez. We looked at Hertz and Northrop Grumman right here up a little today. We'll have to keep an eye on that one right there. And GD is General Dynamics. And what's that up to? That could have been pulling back there in the after hours, it says. I'll have to look at that. It looks like it was that pullback look. I'm not sure if it's going to pull itself up right now. MOH, this one we were looking at, and this one actually looks really good there, MOH. So I would say keep an eye on that one, Luis Rodriguez. That's a good one. Signet looking good. And that Humarian or whatever, Humana, whatever the heck it's called. And this thing does like to run up there. And it's not looking too bad right there. It does have resistance right above it, but you never know. This thing does not look bad. Like I said, has that resistance right there at 295. Yeah, it's at 281 though. So keep an eye on HUM. That could be a good one right there. And Len, what is he up to again? He trying to get set up to run. It's not looking too bad for good old Len right there, LEN. And good old Home Depot. I meant to put these on the list. Remember, I was saying we got to stick with our setups even when they dip down. Look at that thing running up. And Lowe's right there was running. I meant to put them on the list today. I totally forgot to. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And there is your Lowe's and Home Depot. And Lowe's looking really good right there. And you guys know that we were looking at these saying they were getting set up like last week. And there you go. They're trying to get rolling. I think we got some good dip opportunities on them as well. And McDonald's, we just looked at. I don't know what I just typed in, but they do have earnings tomorrow. We'll be looking at it. T-Must is T-Mobile. That could be rolling right there. What's Verizon doing? It's still way down there as well. It could try to get set up, but it looks like it might pull back some more. T-Muscle doesn't look too bad right there, and could be bottoming out. And let's see what MSGS. That's at Madison Square Garden. You were talking about this not long ago, and it did pull back a little bit, trying to get set back up for Madison Square Garden. And that's bit right here was looking good for the short Bitcoin and that DZZ we were talking about. And that one looked pretty good. So there you go. And thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And the QQQ and IWM puts and UVXY were great today. And that was a good one, that's for sure. And let's see what else is going on. Hertz looks like it will continue. BULZ, we were looking at that. And let me see. Is bull at the bottom? I'm not exactly sure yet, Zach. Not with this market yet, so we'll have to see. Like I said, I've been just kind of waiting for it. I bought some options, and they're obviously down. And now we're just going to wait and see if it levels out right here. And hopefully that is the bottom right there. And I'll be loading up on them because this one's been trying to set up. And I already know every time it tries to get set up and then it pulls back, that thing's going to run. It just needs the right market conditions and it'll get cruising. So you just got to stick with it. And like I said, that's why I do them in small increments until it's exactly ready. It did look like it was trying to get moving already. And then obviously this market just destroyed. What was that one? Wait, the 1 day performance there, consumer defense is like the only thing that was a plus right there. And so interesting stuff. And let's see what else are you guys looking at. Let me see. Let me see. We were talking about the crypto treasuries and Lulu. What is LULG? Is that a L Lulu? Oh, I gotta type it in right. I don't even see anything for that, Luis Rodriguez, but I know Lulu. And after hours gainer ZDAI. Let's see what that's doing right here. ZDAI. Let me see. Yeah, that one's cruising up in the after hours. Let me hop in here because it's easier for me to see them. And yeah, that one's definitely spiking up right there for ZDAI. That could be a good one for tomorrow morning. And let's see, BW. Babcock and Wilcox Enterprise not looking bad right there. And SMX, we know that security matters. And that one's looking pretty good, actually. We might want to keep an eye on that. SMX right here. Yeah, that's not looking bad. 233 trying to curl up right there, looking pretty good. I would say we can watch SMX2. I'll jot that down for the morning right there. And there you go. There are some good ones right there. After hours gainers, Luis Rodriguez and Hertz does look pretty good. And Lulu, we were talking about that. Let's see what's going on. History tells us it is the best time to buy crypto. Yeah, probably after these big dips, that's for sure. Laptop travel, you know that. These dips are orchestrated. That's no doubt. And let's see what else is going on. Bitcoin under 100,000. And honestly, 97K may be the real bottom, but you're close for Bitcoin. I would say you're real close right there. And Luis Rodriguez bought Leap contracts on MicroStrategy today. So he did buy some options far out. And let's see, Michael Anthony was trying to tell us. I know that's crazy, Michael Anthony. That's what I was saying. NASDAQ futures down 0.84%. That's pretty good right there. We looked at EXPD, HSIC, and UNL and Cold. I know we went through them guys, and we don't know what's going on with Bitcoin, John Kerry. I have no idea, and I'm not sure who you have account with at work. I don't know what we were talking about, but SMX and ZDAI we just looked at, and that FEMI looking real good there. Doge Mama 9, I must say, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Sam has his puts for tomorrow morning and BQ right here. I'm not even sure what BQ is, but let's look at it. And that's another China one, kind of small cap, and that's running. So again, these China ones are running up here, guys. So keep an eye on them. 397. That's not looking bad right there. Had some crazy spike ups to some crazy numbers right there. We might be wanting to keep an eye on BQ in the morning. That one looks crazy. And Hind or whatever it is, HIND. Let's see what that's doing. It's hitting the 50 right there. It's in that channel, not looking too bad for HIND. And let me see if it pops up on here. Come on. Hop up there, SPY. Let's go, HIND. There we go. And it is in that channel. It could have a little bounce around in that channel there, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see tomorrow's earnings. Our Hood, Hum, IONQ, ARM, QCOM, MCD, Unity, NVO. We did not look at ARM out of there. I know that. And that one was dipping down as well. So you are seeing a lot of them dip. And NVO right here, Novo Nordisk. And this one does have the earnings in the basement right there. Now, if any of them I was going to play, this might be one. So I'm going to jot this down for NVO for earnings right there because that one could be an interesting one for tomorrow, and just because it's all beat down. So NVO, good earnings looking one going into tomorrow. So I'll keep an eye on that one right there. Let's see what else is going on over here. MSTX, we were talking about DJT and Pfizer. Did they report? And Disney's down. And let me see what else is going on after the close. A report came out that UPS had a cargo plane crash on takeoff going to Hawaii, that both pilots were killed. I did not see that, Michael Anthony. As a matter of fact, did you see that laptop travel? You're in right around there. And let's see, bull not going up. It will run up there, Michael Anthony. It will get bullish, and the whole market needs to get bullish, I guess, before it happens. But yeah, it's some nice dippage action right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on bull and ball as well. We'll look at ball and bull. I don't know if ball is one. Yeah, it is. Look at that, Ball Corp. And we'll look at that. That's actually not looking too bad there today. Checking out, take a look at BALL. BALL. Not looking bad right there for the good old Ball Corporation. So interesting one. Didn't even know that was there. And LULG is a two-time Lulu. Goes live tomorrow. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So that's why it's not popping up here. LULG. So we will keep an eye on that tomorrow then if that's happening. Let me write it down over here. LULG. And let's see, ZDIA going to drop 34 to 35. What was it at? I don't even remember. Michael Anthony, ZDAI. And that one's, well, it's all the way up at 63 right now. So I would say it probably will run right up there and drop down. They all do, but these are momentum plays, obviously. That's what we're looking at. Lots more selling with the AI bubble. We'll keep selling off. They'll bounce right back up, Michael Anthony. You already know that. They were all overvaluated and needed to dip down, and we've been talking about this anyway. it just happened a little bit sooner than I really thought. I didn't think they were going to happen right at the beginning of November, but it's perfectly fine because they're great opportunities. No food stamps, planes crashing, and companies laying off, that going into a major recession. Nah, it'll bounce right back up here, Michael Anthony, but it will crash down. Don't get me wrong, but not this soon. It still has a lot of legs left in it, and a lot more opportunity. But that is what it does look like. It is definitely red today, although Apple's not looking too bad. And you know what doesn't look too bad? Here you go. Just trade these ones right here. This one's the cheap one. I meant to hit the A. BRK. Just trade Berkshire Hathaway right here. It was up $18,000, guys. And then another almost 2 grand in the after hours. So there you go for Berkshire Hathaway. It's only $731,117 per share, Michael Anthony. How many shares of Berkshire do you have? I don't even know. They don't pay dividends either, so you're not getting paid on dividends on this bad boy. And let's see. Can you imagine you were buying it at like what 800,000 and now it's down at 730 some thousand? I mean, it was good down here, obviously when it was running up, but in the 600,000 range. How crazy is that, guys? Look at this thing. You would just bought Berkshire forever. I mean, it obviously had that one dip there, but Jesus, look at this thing. Just keeps going up tremendously. And now you're at $731,000. So there you go, right there. And Berkshire has no options either. There you go. So you're buying shares. He said, uh, Warren Buffett said, "You are not putting any options on this. You are buying shares at 731,000. What the hell is the volume at? 491? Is that what that says? I mean, today 491. What was 675, 295. So this one doesn't get traded a whole lot, huh? There were days that I had a couple thousand I thought I saw. But yeah, this thing is not getting traded. I mean, there it was back here back in March. Had to come back a little bit. But yeah, this doesn't get a whole lot of trades. I mean, $731,000 per share. And then you got to try to make money on that. So I'm not sure exactly who's trading. Michael Anthony's trading Berkshire Hathaway Class A, but no one else on the show is. And there you go, Michael Anthony, and watch ACI at 1650 to buy at that price. So we'll look at it and see what ACI is up to. It is Albertson. That is another grocery store. You love your grocery stores down here. And I think we all know that Michael Anthony hasn't taken a loss. And he said that he took a loss on DJT. He said it right here, actually. He actually said, hold on, I'll find it. I'll post it up. Where did he say it? Here you go. He said it. He already said it right there. I sold around 16 on DJT, but took a small loss. He said that he's taken a loss before, I remember. So yeah, no, he's definitely mentioned that he's taken losses. And yeah, I know for a fact he said it before. I remember him saying that he sold one for a loss before it started dipping down real hard. So Michael Anthony for you there. And let's see, Kroger may be up tomorrow. Well, ACI is at Albertson. That looks like it is going down. And KR is Kroger. And I don't even know if that's going up there, Michael Anthony. And again, he is human. I know it's crazy, right? Michael Anthony is a human being, and I always thought it was like a bot talking to us, and I guess it's just Michael Anthony talking into his phone. But yeah, he's human for sure. He has taken losses. I know he said it before. And I remember going, damn, that's crazy. Michael Anthony even takes losses and talks about it. So pretty wild stuff there, Zach. How about that? Yeah, I mean, Kroger looks like it could be bottoming out there, Michael Anthony. I won't disagree with you on that. It's just the market looks kind of crazy. And I'll be honest with you, and we were talking about it in the Discord as well. But this is what I do believe this too. So the Qs, they look like they're coming down to your trend line right here at like 614, and your IWM is already under your 50. So that's not looking good, guys. That looks like it could just come crashing down somewhere. I don't even know where it wants to go to, but it could go down. And your SPY is kind of hanging out and looks like it wants to come to your 20 and possibly revisit your 50. So you definitely look like you have a little bit of pullback. And Michael Anthony said he's on a computer. No shit. You type like that, Michael Anthony. So that's pretty impressive. And I always pictured you as talking into your phone. And but you're on the computer listening to the show, hanging out, and we enjoy you. And glad that you tune in all the time. And Cheesecake Factory finally looking better. I know we were looking at this thing, and they just had their earnings pull back, and that is trying to curl up. I must say, I don't know if it's exactly ready yet for good old cake, but it is trying. It might have a few days in it left. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez and everybody else. And Michael Anthony is human there, guys. Zach and Janica and Sam up there and Robin. And of course, everybody else tuning in, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, and John Kerry and everybody else. Who else? Sam, Michael Anthony, and the whole entire crew. Everybody, I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's for sure. CBRL. Let's see what that is. Cracker Barrel. Remember this thing? I couldn't think of. I was like, why do I know that ticker? I couldn't even think what it was. But we do know Cracker Barrel. We just gone over it the other day too, and that one is looking a little bit better. Did they ever fire that CEO or get rid of her or do something? Because she is definitely did make some good moves there. I mean, look at Cracker Barrel over. We looked at it not long ago. That's your yearly look, and I mean, holy cow, that's pretty wild right there. And she definitely took the company right down this year. It went down in April, and everything popped up, and then this one went straight back down, lower than it was in April, guys. So you don't see many companies lower than they were in April right now. But Cracker Barrel is, because they tried to be stupid and go woke, and then they went right down, and that's what the stock price does on all of them. Anyway, that is your CBRL right there, Luis Rodriguez, and that's what it looks like. So, yeah, the CEO definitely didn't make a good decision, that's for sure. And like I said, your SPY's down, and they do look like they're pulling back some more right there, Michael Anthony. And that's what we have this evening. Let's go ahead and look at our news stories real quick and see what else is happening. Trump's tariffs head to the Supreme Court. That's interesting. And stocks tumble. Bonds rise with the yen on Haven bid. Is that what that even says? I'm not even sure. Asian markets pull back as stretched valuation fears jolt Wall Street. NASDAQ futures lower after losing session. And AMD earnings, chip makers, profits, and outlook beat Wall Street's expectations right there. So, yeah, she's running for the governor of New Jersey. And it does look like Mikey Sherrill is going to be winning that thing. When it says 100% like that, it looks like it's a done deal right there. Yep, I would say that she won the election, huh? Oh, that sucks. That's for sure. That is terrible, guys. But anyway, that is life, and we have to deal with this lunatic now in this state. And there's your Fed decision in December, and it does look like another 25 decrease, and I've been sticking with it. And that government shutdown, wait a second, November 8th through 11th, big curl up right there. Something's going on with the shutdown. So November 10th, 11th, it's teetering around there, and it looks like it's going to happen on the poly market right there. So that is what it looks like, and that is what's going on right there. Let me see if there's anything trending over here, if we missed anything. And I would say it's a pretty good market review as the crypto's pulling back. I mean, that's a pretty red heat map. Although Bitcoin's back over 100, it was just under 100, so you can trade that around. Bitcoin SPY, DJT, the Qs, SMCI, Meta, Ethereum, CoreWeave, and BMNR and AMD. So the only one we didn't even look at was CoreWeave right here, and that was pulling back big, and that looks like it's going to be going down as well. So we might be able to short CoreWeave down tomorrow too. So we'll have to look. Don't they have some ETFs on CoreWeave? Here's a 2-time long, 2-time leverage core. This one might be it, I think. I don't even know. That's the long right there. That's CRWD, and that's a long for CoreWeave. I don't see an inverse. That's another one, but that's the growth. This is the inverse. Here you go. and that's the long. I think it's going to be this guy. Yep, cord right there. It's fairly new actually. So there you go. But that is it right there, guys. I would say we're going to be shorting the market down more tomorrow, and we'll see if we see anything that wants to actually pop up. But we've been doing pretty well with puts now. And like I said before, we would definitely find our opportunities. And if the market wanted to go down, we'd play it going down. And you guys are doing well in the Discord. I know that. So that's what matters right there. We find the opportunities and we go for them, and everybody's been enjoying it. So there you go. I enjoyed another live show with you guys and another market review. Crypto's down. The market was down today. It should pull back a little bit more tomorrow. And then we'll see if it actually wants to bounce when these things are hitting off the lines, maybe in the afternoon. We see a reversal. So I'm not actually ruling that out, but it looks like it's going to open up being down. And of course, we'll be on at 7 a.m. to see exactly what it wants to do tomorrow. So we do this show every Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. And then we also do our pre-market show every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. I try to start a few minutes early just so we can make sure we get through everything and cruise through. And Denny's definitely went up. But it's no sense in buying it because they're getting bought out, and it's hanging out up there at its buyout price. And I'm not sure what WEN is. Sounds like Wendy's. That's it. It is Wendy's. And actually, Wendy's looking pretty good right there. Who was that? Michael Anthony. So there you go with WEN. Good old Wendy's. That could be a little momentum play tomorrow for WEN. That's not looking bad. So. But Denny's not so sure you want to jump into that. They already had the buyout and or talks and all that good stuff. Remember, Papa John's was going to get bought out, and then the company bailed on it, guys. What was it called? I forget what the hell the company was called. Apollo. And so yeah, Apollo said that they're not going to take the deal or whatever. So deal reportedly shelved. And that was Apollo pulled bid, and that was yep, PCs. Look at that, Michael Anthony. We were on the same page right there. How about that with Papa John's? And yeah, they pulled out the deal, and I was talking about that today as well. I know Joseph Levy pointed that out to me earlier in the Discord. So there you go, everybody. No big sports games on tonight. The market's just pulling back. It's not a big deal. We're shorting it down, having a good time. So we've been doing that perfectly fine. And there you are, everyone. So we'll be on at 7 a.m. to see what the market really wants to look like. I expect it to pull back a little bit more. And again, no big deal. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And Michael Anthony, Luis Rodriguez, and Zach and Sam and Robin and Doge Mom and Nine, John Kerry there, Luis Rodriguez, and of course Laptop Travel, and everybody else that I mentioned, Janica, and I think I mentioned Sam and Zach and everybody else. So, and everybody I didn't mention, I greatly appreciate all of you hanging out. Maybe I'm sitting there giving his little one a bottle. He said he tunes in sometimes, and I know there's a lot of people that tune in that don't exactly chime in, and I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in. But if you ever have a question, feel free to hit me up on X, shoot me a DM. I respond to everybody, and I'll guide you down the right road. It doesn't matter what the question is, whether you're trying to figure out options, how to open an account, or whatever it might be. I'll try to just gear you and put you down the right path there, so you don't have to worry about that. And there you go, everyone. So be sure to follow along and like the show. Follow on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure you repost it. And there you go. So we'll be back at 7 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And what is Michael Anthony saying up here? He just keeps on posting things. But Clorox, isn't that CLX right here? That's Colgate, but this is Clorox, right? And that is Clorox. I'll look at that tomorrow. It doesn't look like anything too crazy there. And Caesars right here. We were looking at some of these hotels and casinos. They weren't looking too bad when we were looking at, and that started to dip down right there. So you have a bid at 19 for Caesars right there and at 18. So there you go. That's what's going on in the Michael Anthony world. He has two bids to try to catch Caesars at 19 and 18 right there. So there you go, everybody. I hope that helps everybody else out. And you guys have a great night. And yeah, we'll be back in the morning. We'll see what crypto wants to do. If it wants to try to jump up, Bitcoin is back over 100,000 again, over 101. So looks a little better than it did when it was just under 100,000. I have to say that. And that's it, guys. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Enjoy your evening, everybody. And I'll see you at 7 a.m. Have a good night.